As the fight for control of the galaxy raged on, and the Clone Wars became more intense, the Separatists began to develop a variety of new battle droid types, which they hoped would surprise their enemy and give them a massive advantage on the battlefield. One of these was the highly secretive and incredibly effective Separatist Stealth Battle Droid, which had the ability to hide in a variety of locations, including underwater, where it would stalk its victim before popping out at the final moment to kill him. They could even avoid the senses of a Jedi. So, let's find out how Obi-Wan fared against these crazy battle droids. Before we dive into it, make sure you're subscribed for more awesome Star Wars lore content. The story begins on the very important Outer Rim Republic world of Bandomeer, which is proving to be crucial in the Grand Army's fight against the Separatists. On Bandomeer, the Jedi rejects who were never good enough to be picked up by a master were sent here to live their lives as farmers to provide food for the very hungry clone army. Obi-Wan is performing an inspection of the facilities in the area and is being given a tour by someone who looks suspiciously like his long-lost brother. The commander of the Jedi farming base then asks Obi-Wan how it feels coming back to his old base. Obi-Wan tells the commander that it feels very odd and that he was originally posted here as part of the Jedi Agri Corps when he was a Jedi youngling because none of the Jedi Masters wanted to take him on as the Padawan. This was until a man named Qui-Gon Jinn came along and noticed Obi-Wan's potential in the Force, choosing to adopt him as a Padawan and thankfully saving him from a life of farming with the other failed Jedi. On this very world, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon fought side by side against Trade Federation battle droids, assuring Qui-Gon Jinn that Obi-Wan was the right choice for his Padawan. The farming commander then tells Obi-Wan that his control of the Force was always far stronger than the other Jedi who were stationed here as farmers, so it's no surprise that he was eventually stolen away, but tells Obi-Wan that although the farmers here are weaker in the Force, they can still use certain aspects of the Force to help in their farming. Following this, he also explains that the planet-wide farms on Bandomeer provide a crucial service to the Republic, and without them, the clone troopers across the galaxy would starve to death from lack of rations. Obi-Wan is humbled to hear this and tells the commander that everyone plays their part in war, even those who don't think they are having an impact. Meanwhile, in contested space, around 1 parsec away from Bandomeer, General Grievous is meeting with Count Dooku to discuss his new stealth battle droid program. As Grievous's prototype stealth battle droids menacingly march alongside the two, Dooku immediately tells Grievous that Darth Sidious has invested an awful lot into this stealth droid program, and that operating so close to Bandomeer puts a big risk on everyone involved. Grievous, however, doesn't take this criticism kindly, instead believing that Dooku's lack of faith is simply a poor disguise for his jealousy, assuring Dooku that his new stealth droids will perform just as he promised. On top of that, he assures Dooku that by this time tomorrow, the farms of Bandomeer will be burned to a thick ash. As he says this, a small cluster of pods are dropped from the ship before they glide into Bandomeer's atmosphere and splash down in its ocean. After the pods successfully float back up to the surface, the stealth battle droids inside pop out of their shells, ready to wreak havoc on the Republic farming facilities. Very soon after this, the droids activate their primary stealth mode before lurking just above the water, ready to strike in an instant. These battle droids are highly advanced and know exactly what their targets are. Meanwhile, back at the farm, Obi-Wan is enjoying lunch with the Jedi he used to be stationed with on this farming world all of those years back, and is shocked at how good the food is, having forgotten the taste of genuinely fresh food after being stuck in space for so long. The commander then responds to Obi-Wan by telling him that he tended to the plants himself, and that based on their age, it's very possible that Obi-Wan himself planted the seeds that created the food that they're eating, all the way back to when he belonged to the Agri Corps. Unfortunately, their very friendly conversation comes to an abrupt end only moments later, when the clone captain of the 212th bashes down the door and warns Obi-Wan and the farming commander that they must come quickly, as an attack on the western perimeter has been detected. As soon as the two Jedi hear this, they leap out of their seats and run outside to inspect the attack force, and Obi-Wan is angry that stuff like this always happens just as he is about to sit down and eat. As usual, make sure you let me know what you think the name of the 212th captain should be. Since this is a pretty high-ranking member, let's make it something clean and simple like Cody's name. Sometime later, after the stealth droids lurk deep in the water waiting to attack, they eventually come up to the shore and begin tearing through clone troopers of the 212th, even terrifying the Jedi farmers, leading them to hide in the bushes. The captain and his men report that these droids move so quickly that they can't even get a single hit off on them. As the stealth droids fire their heavy-duty cannons, Obi-Wan asks the captain of the 212th what the situation is, to which he doesn't get the response he's looking for. Unfortunately, the situation is pretty dire. The new stealth droids literally appeared out of thin air and are completely tearing the 212th troopers to pieces. After hearing the tragic and saddened tone of his clone captain, Obi-Wan leaps into action, vowing to send these new stealth droids back to the scrap heap, no matter what. Unfortunately though, it's not going to be as easy as Kenobi would have hoped. As soon as Obi-Wan leaps and swings his blade at the monstrous battle droid, his lightsaber is instantly slapped away from him and his body is pushed to the ground with tremendous force. He is absolutely stunned and confused at this, wondering how a droid can possibly move so fast. He then calls out to his captain in a daze, wondering if he saw it, but the captain and the rest of the troopers are far too busy fighting off these stealth droids to even spare a moment. Following this, Obi-Wan is again belted right in the shoulder, putting him in massive pain, but for the sake of both his men and the Republic farming facilities, he gets up and continues fighting. As he rejoins the fight alongside his clone troopers, Obi-Wan remains confused, saying, "3 of them, yet they evaded my Jedi senses and seem to appear out of nowhere." Obi-Wan wonders how this can be possible, asking, "What in the name of the Force is going on here?" Moments after he says this, the 212th captain comes running over to him asking, "General, we're getting reports from all over. The other farms are under attack and suffering heavy losses. The soldiers can barely catch a sight of the enemy before it disappears. Our people are dying and there's nothing we can do." Obi-Wan then tells his captain that there's always something they can do, but they just have to know where to look. After telling his captain this, Obi-Wan dives deeply into the Force, using it to guide his mind around the planet, painting a picture of all of the life forms that blanket this lush planet. The Force then finally shows him the droids he's looking for. He can see the dead shadow of the stealth droids in the middle of all of the vibrant life from the farms. Using this knowledge in combination with his now enhanced connection to the Force, Obi-Wan is able to defeat the stealth droids and declare that their exotic technology can't hide from a Jedi Knight, before he once again leaps into the air and finally manages to eliminate these very advanced droids. After Obi-Wan realizes he can tap into the Force to find the location of the stealth droids, he immediately orders his captain to radio over to the other clones and tells them that the Jedi farmers will see the droids if they tap into the Force. They will understand how to do it. And heartwarmingly, this plan begins to work, and the Jedi farmers, who are widely regarded as useless Jedi rejects and failures by the rest of the Order, finally begin to have a true purpose. They are finally given the chance to fight alongside the clone troopers, just like all of the normal Jedi who remained at the temple and became Jedi Knights. Truly an awesome thing to see. Later that day, the commander of the farm tells Obi-Wan that the attackers are nothing but scrap metal now. On top of that, the Republic blockade above the skies of the planet have been strengthened so that something like this can never happen again, and the food supply for the clone army will not run dry anytime in the near future. And to end the story, the farm commander, who again looks suspiciously similar to Obi-Wan, tells Kenobi that using the Force to see beyond normal sight is the sign of a true Jedi Master. Obi-Wan then tells him in response that life is all around. It is the role of the Force to ensure that it continues to flourish. So those were the crazy Separatist stealth droids that almost destroyed the Republic's supply of food for the rest of the war. If you want to see more adventures from Jedi rejects, and those who were put in the Agri-Corps at a very young age, check out the comic in the pinned comment down below, as it's a pretty awesome adventure, and the Jedi who were placed in the Agri-Corps don't really have the best life. Thanks so much for watching, really hope you enjoyed the video. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.